No.
Preservation of capital is more important than making money. And you want to lock in your trades, and you also want to protect your downsides at the same time. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of AmericanDreamTrading.com's live futures education and training program. This is an outreach of AmericanDreamTrading.com, which was created by, formed by, incorporated by Chad Christian, who we call Coach. And we call him Coach because he coaches us through everything investing, whether it's stock options, crypto, or in this case, futures. He teaches us how to do that. And he teaches us how to day trade, swing trade, long term investing, dividend reinvesting, covered calls, cash secured puts, you name it. If it can be invested in, Coach teaches us how to do that. And my name is Mark McSee. I am a moderator here with AmericanDreamTrading.com. And we're glad you could be here today. If this is your first time being here, please make sure that you click the subscribe button. Also, click that notification button so that you do not miss any of our live broadcasts. And we are live 3 times a day. Coach is live from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And I'm live with the Futures Education and Training Program from 2 to 4 p.m. daily, Monday through Friday. And then we have our aftermarket show over on YouTube at our channel, American Dream Trading. And that is at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday with our host, Don. A little bit different show over there. It's more laid back. You get to talk about how your day was, talk about trades, and you can discuss them in details. You can ask questions. Matter of fact, you can join the panel there and talk with an open mic there. That's an advantage over there that you don't have here. So I'm glad you could be here today. Good afternoon. I see X the Trader popped in over there along with Doug and a bunch of others. Make sure, especially those of you on YouTube, that you go over and smash that thumbs up button. That helps our logarithm saying that you like to being here. Also, if you would do me a big favor, if you would click that share button also and share it out to your social media networks so that others may learn like you do. So let's spread the word. Once again, we are not broadcasting through TikTok due to some one of our streaming software's issues. They're working to resolve that. Hopefully Monday or so we'll have that back up and running. We'll see what happens, and we'll play it by ear. And that's why I highly recommend it to everybody on a daily basis that if you are on YouTube, that you get in our account over there on TikTok or Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or X, Twitch, whatever. Have a backup account that way if one of them goes down. you can still join in this live feed. So those who are on TikTok don't get to see our live feed. They're missing out unless they come over to one of these other media platforms. I highly recommend at least you get our subscription service over on YouTube, because that serves two purposes. Gives you a backup. You can also go there on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading, and we have over 2,000 free training videos for you to watch at your convenience. They're pretty cool. You can watch them by subject, by topic. You can fast forward them. You can stop them and pause them, take notes, rewind, and it's all there for you to watch at your convenience. We've put a lot of work into creating those. Matter of fact, we have a dedicated team of people here at AmericanDreamTrading.com that do nothing but that, create training videos. A lot of work, a lot of hours go in just to making one short video. So show your appreciation by going over there and watching them. They can see how many people have watched your videos and which ones you tend to like more than others, and that helps us also. Helps us give you what it is you're looking for as far as training. The more of those you watch and give thumbs up to and all those type of things, we can take those statistics and improve the quality of our service to you. So I do thank you for being here today. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them into your social media chat box there. And we'll do our best to answer those questions as time allows. We'll answer questions. We may do some live training here. If you have specific questions, we'll try to go into that and see what we can go, where we all go. We never know where this show's going to go. So if you want to not hear me ramble on about me and how great I is and all that, and you want your question answered, ask it. And we'll do that right now. There's Jeff over there on our YouTube live chat. Says, if you don't mind answering, I don't. How much did profit your first month of trading futures? Well, that is a pretty personal question. And it depends on your account size, what you're trading, how much experience. The thing you have to realize, you can't compare you to me any more than I can compare myself to another member, right? This morning we had GC. He made, last count, $287,000 on one trade on Meta today. Now, the thing you have to realize about GC is he has a multi-million-dollar account, and as such, he can trade a lot more money than I can. That's for sure, right? And that's how he made that money. He was trading big, and he capitalized big. However, the other thing you need to realize is if I'd entered that same trade as GC did and exited it at the same time that he did, we both would have made the same amount of percentage on our trade, right? It's just the size of our trade is what determines how much money you make at any given time. Now, when I first started, to answer your question, I started out like everyone should, trading micro contracts. Now you have what you call an E-mini contract and you have a micro contract. Essentially, in most cases, it's not 100%, but in most cases, 10 micro contracts equal one E-mini contract. So, but you should start out on micros. Yes, they pay less. It's proportional. They pay basically 1/10 of the amount of a E-mini contract in the futures. However, so is also the amount of outlay, the amount you have to have in your margin account to trade one of those. So as starting out, I started out with a $700 account, and I started trading micros. I actually started out trading micro crude oil, MCL. And, the amount that you have in your margin, I was able to trade one contract of those any time of the day I wanted to. So I started out trading. I do have 2 years experience under my belt, but I started out trading one contract at a time because that's all my account will allow me to do. Yes, I could have thrown a lot of money into my account and started trading big, but that's not how you should start anything. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a multimillionaire. If you're coming in to trade futures for the first time, you need to start out like a new beginner until you're sure that you know and you know or that you know what you're doing before you start throwing real money at it. So every trade I made, not every trade because I lose money on trades also, But when I was making profit, I was locking in $5 here, $7 there, $10 here, $12 there. Once in a while if it'd get a good little run, I can make $20 or $30 in one trade. It just depends what the market's doing that day, right? What's your trade that you're in. So that's how you built your account. I built my account from $700 to now to where I can trade multiple positions, multiple contracts of the E-minis, which requires more capital into your account for your margin account. So over time, that's how you build your account. So over probably a 6-8 week period, I was able to go from making, I started out making $5 a trade or $10 a trade to once I got my account, got more money, built up my account, and then I was able to afford 2 micros. So now I go from making $5, $10, or $15 a trade to making 10, 12, 10, 20, $30 a trade because now I had 2. Built my account up a little bit more as time went by, and I was able to buy 3. So instead of 10, I was making 30. Got up to 4 and was able to make 40 instead of 10, right? And then I got to 5, and that was kind of the sweet spot. That's really where my account started to take off over time. And also, I had more experience, so I kind of knew what I was doing when I got to that point. Did I lose money every day? Yeah, I did. I had red trades every day. I still have red trades every day. I don't always make the wisest choices on entering trades. But then I got up to that 5 micro contracts, and I was able to make, if it'd go up a little bit, I'd make, $15 to $50 a trade and on up. And you just keep rinsing and repeating that all day long, and before you know it, you wake up one day and you have money in your account. Now, that's based on having the education, training, and experience to be able to do that. Are you going to come in here, Jeff, tomorrow and open an account and start making $1 bazillion? No, you're not. Number one, you got to know what you're doing. You have to get to training, right? And that's what we do here at AmericanDreamTrading.com. We are an education and trading program. We're not a call-out group. We're not going to tell you to buy oil. Buy oil now. Sell oil now. We don't do that. What does that teach you? Nothing, right? We want to educate you so that you develop a skill over time that nobody can take away from you, that you'll be able to make your own decisions on when to enter a trade and when to exit a trade. You'll understand what the lines on your chart and these indicators and everything you see on my screen here, right? This is Trading View, by the way. What all that means and when do I enter a trade and when is this telling me to get out of a trade, right? And that's the important part, and having the mechanics down to do that. What buttons do I got to click to get in a trade? What buttons do I got to click to get out of a trade? What are the other 4 ways of doing that same thing? You need to know all those things. Yeah, so I did, I might do 10 trades. I might do 100 trades in a day or more, even more. Just depends how long I'm trading and how long I'm in. And then, if I was averaging, I would say I probably averaged, I don't know, 12 sounds like a number that pops in my head overall. If I'd look at each trade, just in and out, right? And you just keep doing that. And over time, you build your account. Yes, you're going to have bad trades and lose money too. But hopefully over time, as you gain experience and knowledge and wisdom and discipline, that's the hardest part, getting that discipline and the psychological part of trading to where it's not affecting you, then yes, you can really get into some serious profits here. But if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be a millionaire, right? If Jeff could do it, Jeff would be a millionaire, right? If I could do it, I'd be a millionaire. Everybody would be millionaires, right? And we would be taking money out of the stock market every single day. Obviously, it's not that easy because not everybody's a millionaire, right? And everybody doesn't have the drive and the commitment and the self-discipline to do this. And it is hard. It is very hard to get started. But as you build upon principle on principle, things start to make sense and things get easier as you go. And then you develop a trading strategy, one of many that Coach teaches, that works best for you and your type of personality and the type of trader that you want to be. And you implement that strategy and be laser focused on what you're doing. And yes, you can be successful over time. We don't guarantee anybody that joins AmericanDreamTrading.com that they're going to be successful. We cannot control whether you show up every day. We can't control whether you listen to everything that comes out of Coach's mouth. We can't control whether you take notes and journal and ask questions and and study and put in all the sweat equity that's involved, right? That only you have control over that. So it's like anything else in life. You get out of it what you put into it, right? So do I remember the exact amount I made that month? No, I don't. But I know I was pulling 5, 10, 12, 15, occasional 30 on one micro contract. So, I was making hundreds a day, right? Easily. But I already had a strong background trading stocks and stock options. And when I came over here, that was all them skills that I acquired for my time with American Dream Trading and listening to Coach and applying those things that Coach teaches on a daily basis. I was able to come right over here and kind of start running right off the bat. I did paper trade for 3 weeks, even though I had the experience. I wanted to know that I knew that I know, that I knower that I know before I even traded real money. Matter of fact, I didn't even fund my account for 3 weeks. Everybody was over here. Why didn't you have your account funded yet? Because I want to paper trade. I want to make sure that I know, right? I can't assume anything. I need to prove it by paper trading and having successful trades over and over and over. It wasn't about how much money I can make paper trading. It has nothing to do with it. Big deal. You can trade $1 million fake money and make $20,000. Big deal. Well, that don't prove anything, right? You have to have the mechanics down and understand and know how to set stops and where you should set your stops at, your stop losses. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just jump in here and get rich, because it's not a get rich quick scheme, right? So that's the difference between us and a call-out group. We don't tell you when to buy and sell. Those people don't last. And when they're gone, you have no skill. Now my person that told me what to do every single day, every single trade is gone. And now what do I do, right? We want to give you a skill to make your own decisions. So you're not listening to Mark McSee. You're not listening to Coach or anyone else about what to get in, when to get in, and when to get out of a trade. You're able to make your own judgments, and that comes, and we can do that for you. So when you're ready to step up your education, go over to AmericanDreamTrading.com, grab our free Discord, take a look at our membership packages that we have there for you, because these live feeds are just a tip of the iceberg. As you know anything about icebergs, 90% of it's below water that you can't see. And membership has its privileges. So, we're going to share with you. We'll answer any question you have. But if you really want the training, then you need to step it up and grab one of those memberships, right? And I don't apologize for that. Hopefully that answered your question. All right. What else do we have? Now if you ask me how much I made today or how much I made last week, I've had some humongous days here recently. Today, I actually didn't trade all that much. I filled in for Coach this morning, so that took away some critical trading time there, but I still made $1,500 this morning. $1,800. $1,800 trading gold this morning before the markets open. Because with futures, we can trade 23 hours a day, starting at 6 p.m. Central, or 6 p.m. Eastern. It opens at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can trade clear to 5 p.m. Eastern time every day. That's the beauty of trading futures. You're not limited to any certain time of the day. That's what I love about them. One of the things, anyway. Good. All right. So, yeah, you guys are all on social media. You see these kids that still got pimples on their face, ain't even growed a hair on their body. Oh, look at me. Look at my Lambo I bought trading, making millions on trading stocks. Yeah, whatever. Okay, well, maybe it's true, maybe it ain't, right? Maybe they just rented the car for the day or it's daddy's car. We don't know, right? Any more than I could say I made X amount of dollars today. What does that prove? Nothing. I could be lying to your face, right? I'm not, but just say, you don't know. I don't know whether I'm telling you. I'm just some random dude on the internet, right? So be cautious to that. You don't see, people flashing things around. That's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old fashioned. It don't impress me. Maybe it impresses you, those type of things. Doesn't impress me. Oh, one of the benefits about being a member is that we do train from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily in American Dream Trading. So you can get a minimum of 12 hours if you get the VIP or VIP Gold membership. The futures, we trained matter of fact, we trained 2 hours before we came in here today live with you. So our futures traders get 20 hours minimum of training a week. We also have, as part of their paid membership inside our Discord. They have special channels that are open to them within our Discord that you don't get to see as a free member. And we can discuss trades in there 24 hours a day. And we do. There's always, we get together. There's a futures live chat where we get in there and we say, hey, take a look at gold or take a look at Bitcoin or take a look at oil or whatever, right? We're not telling each other what to buy, when to get in and get out, but it helps to have different people looking at different things, right? So like me, I like trading the metals, so I may be focused on that. Another member may be one likes to trade the NQ, right? The NASDAQ. I'm not looking at the NASDAQ. Maybe the gold ain't doing nothing, but the person that's trading NASDAQ say, hey, it's moving pretty good. And, I can go over and look at that and jump in on that if I want. Again, it's not an inducement to buy. It's just saying, hey, this might have potential. Go take a look at it. Make your own decision what you want to do. So it really helps having more eyes looking around, right? Because sometimes we'll sit there and stare at a chart that ain't moving, not making us any money, while everything else around us is running like crazy. So, but we don't chase call outs. It's just a type of thing to go look at. So there's gold today. Gold also hit a new high today too, didn't it? It's up to hit a high of 65.5. It touched it again at today, Thursday already. Jeez. A little bit after midnight, 12:30 this morning, it hit. It also hit it last night about 11:30. So it went up and peaked and set a new record high of $3,065. Since retraced from there, but the overall markets really had a fantastic day. We watched our members make literally millions of dollars. We had, like I say, with GC, he made over 287,000. And we have a bunch of other members that have those accounts just like he does. I didn't hang around long enough to hear what the other ones did, and they don't always say every day either. So, but we had all our members. It was an account changing day, to put it lightly. If you were trading this morning at the market open because of yesterday, if you were with us yesterday, we listened in on the FOMC meeting when the Feds gave their interest rate decision, which they didn't change anything, right? Well, this morning, that's all behind them now, so there's no wondering for sure what they were going to do. Now we know what they was going to do, nothing, which we already kind of knew that, but there was no, until it happens, you don't know that. So everybody was excited today, and the markets just took off like crazy today. They went berserk. Everything just went to the moon today. All our members wrote all this up here today. As an example, if you were trading futures, let's take a look at the S&P 500. Let's say you got in here and there's a market open. That is 200, I'll just say 220 ticks, right? And how much does each tick pay on ES? It pays $12.50. So Mark takes 220 times 12.5. That comes out to $2,750. So if you had $96 in your margin account this morning, $96.36, under $100, you could have traded one contract of the S&P 500, which is the ES, and you would have made almost $2,800 just by having less than $100 in your margin account. Now, when you exit that trade at $96, it goes right back in your margin account. So your really true cost is the transaction fee, which I believe is $4 on ES? Whatever. $4.
434 or something like that.
Yeah, 464 something. Under $5 was your true cost. So to make $2,800, it cost you $5. If you said, give me $5 and we'll give you $2,800 back, would you take that deal? Well, you most certainly would, right? Does it always do this? Of course not. But this was an account changing day. Imagine if I had 5 of those, right? For a $500 account, which is a minimum account to open at Webull, you have to have $500. I could have bought 5 contracts. That'd have been $13,750 I could have made this morning. And I trade 5 to 10 of these on a regular basis during the day. No, I did not trade this morning. I was filling in for Coach. So yes, I watched everybody else make money today, and that's just part of the job as a moderator, right? I accepted a job as a moderator, knowing that, could I have traded it? Yeah, I could have clicked the buy button. But like I tell you guys every day when I'm in training mode or, hosting, I'm not going to risk my real account because I'm not paying attention, right? I'm not laser focused on my trade, and you have to be laser focused. This may only went up to here and then dived, right? Dropped out. That's why you can't be distracted when you're in a trade. You really must be laser focused, paying attention, evaluating, running things through your head. What do I do here? Am I going to do there? What's my plan A? What's my plan B? What's my exit plan? Right. So I didn't trade at all after 9:30. So I did okay. Like I say, I made some money this morning. So before the market opened, I made more than enough that I need on any single day. So, there's a million days, a million trades just like this. Yeah, Mark. Well, Mark, you gave up $20,000. Well, yeah. So, how many other days I've given up 10, 15, $20,000 a day had I been there, right? The days I wasn't even trading, that I was somewhere else. I joke around my one buddy's in construction. Once in a while, he gets shorthanded and he'll call me, hey, can you come work with me tomorrow? I'm like, sure. We've been good friends for 30 years, and I'll go help him out once in a while. And I've had at least 3 days that I was working for him for basically nothing, right? I'm there to help him out. I mean, he takes care of me, don't get me wrong. But, they were $10,000 days that if I'd have done my normal trade and my normal thing that I normally trade each and every day, it would have been a $10,000 trade. Easy, right? So, first time, did it make me want to puke my guts out? Yeah. But, you do this for a while, and every day there's a runner somewhere. You can't possibly be on every trade that's there, right? And as you get more experienced, you realize that, right? And that's what I love about being a day trader. I have freedom of time. If my buddy calls me, said he needs needs a lot of help, I'll drop what I'm doing, go over and help him. Just because we've known each other, we're really good friends, and you're very fortunate in life if you have one good friend, you know, and so I give him a shirt off my back just like he'd give his shirt off his back, right? But I've had 3 of those days. They were $10,000 days just trading what I normally trade. And so after the first time, you just like, yeah, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, don't think I didn't rub that in his face and make him try to feel bad, which he could care less. We're both the same way. Get off my lawn. Quit your crying. Back to work. So it is what it is, right? Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another trade. Just like if you have a red trade, well, there's another trade right after that one you could take, right? You don't get hung up on any one trade or any one day. You don't judge yourself by, if you have a red day, in other words, you come out negative for the day. You don't judge yourself by one red day. You got to look at the big picture, right? Now, if you're having 2 or more red days in a row, what does coach say? He says, take 30 days off, figure out what you're doing wrong, right? It's impossible to wreck your account. If you have 2 days in a row red and you lose, keep your losses, like he says, between 1% to 3% max of your total account loss in one day. And if you do that 2 days in a row, then you have to take 30 days off. If you keep doing that, let's just say you're the world's worst trader, you don't understand what you're doing, and you lose between 1% to 3% of your account every single time you trade, and you follow coach's rule, every 2 days you have 2 red days in a row, and you take a 30 days off and then go back and then trade again, it will take you 15 years to lose your money, literally. So people come in here and blow up their account in the first 30 days and try to tell us, oh, I followed the rules. No, you didn't. It's mathematically impossible that if you have 2 red days in a row to take 30 days off and then rinse and repeat. It's mathematically impossible. So in other words, they didn't follow coach's rules. And, speaking of coaches, oh, wait a minute here. We had somebody who had their hand up. They just took it down. Who was that? I'm sorry. One of our paid members had their hand up. Joe, was that you?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, you were going there. So on the ES trade, I was just curious if I'm in my paper trading thing and was trying to catch this up. And so as it rolled up, of course, it was pretty phenomenal. So I'm sitting there going, God dang it, it should be in real money. I could have made a ton.
Yeah.
But the question I got is, when you're in this type of, and I don't think it's any different probably in the futures, you're riding up there and you're riding that 9 up. I was just following that all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
But then it goes to turn. And once it turned there at the top, I can't remember what on ES what that is, 6,000 something.
Yep.
But
57.
you had that big candle down
Mm-hmm.
that touched the 21.
Yep.
I jumped out, I think probably a little too late. And I was thinking, I was hoping,
Yeah.
right,
Well,
which is
right.
bad, that it would jump back up and keep going back up, but it never did. Obviously, it kind of went
Right.
down.
It's been
In
stair
that
stepping.
scenario, I mean, you're on this path down. I mean, do you even touch that again? I mean, there's really nothing there that says I should be back in this anywhere.
That's
Unless
correct.
I don't know, you can short, right? You can short on
Yep.
futures. I
You can
suppose
make
you
money
could try
going up.
that.
You can make money
Yeah.
going down.
Yeah. I think that would happen at the 21 cross way
Mm-hmm.
over there at,
Yep.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I would have
So,
touched that.
what is your trading criteria? When do you enter a trade?
I enter basically, I look at the EWO, to be honest with you. I look
Okay.
at that, make sure it's above the 9 and it's got at least 2 greens
Mm-hmm.
away from the 9, but above the 9, not too far. If it's a
Right.
gamma, I won't go near it. Right.
Right.
If it's one of those big pushes,
Mm-hmm.
I've been burned so many times trying to
Right.
catch that. But it's where I tend to hang in too long is my problem. I'll sit there and oh yeah, no, gosh, no, it'll come back. And the next thing you know, I'm riding it down or I'll catch a slight gamma on the way down. And I'll go, darn it. Then I hit a market, and that screws me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the market maker's price on there kind of gets me. But
Right.
yeah, no, typically I gotta have, and again, I listen to Nate in the morning. You gotta have 2 confirmed. You gotta have that
Yep. A
second
break and a
confirming
hold
candle.
strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But I'd say usually I hang in there just too long,
Yeah.
and
Well,
then I start to
that's
lose.
part of experience too, right?
Yeah,
So let me ask you this. What is your exit strategy before you even get in a trade? What is it that
I
tells
look
you
at
to get out?
if I see a red candle, right, I'll start to get nervous, and what I'll do is I'll look at the 5 minute. I'll jump over and look at a longer area and see if it's
Okay.
still holding up. And if it's holding up, I'll stay in it.
Okay.
But if the 5 minutes starts to twinkle, then I'll jump out.
So what's
And
your line in the
sometimes,
sand that you absolutely will get out of a trade? Do you have one
oh,
of those?
if it hits near the 21, I'm out.
Okay. So that's a good strategy, right? If it breaks and holds below the 21, that's a perfect strategy actually, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I get greedy though, but sometimes I
Yep.
get too greedy,
Yeah.
especially when this thing's rolling, I'm thinking, dang, right? But I just don't have that experience yet to say, dude, give it up. And the
Well,
other
that's a
piece I've started to do recently, paying more attention. I don't watch the L2 that much except on smaller stocks, stuff like Apple. The bigger AMD is the one I like to use. Apple's
mm-hmm.
too expensive for me. I still do stocks, right? And this I was doing in paper. But I don't watch the L2 on the big guys, but on the small ones, I'll try to learn that L2 process to capture it to, check my support and resistance areas.
No, that's a
But
good strategy. The break and that's just what I do. Break and hold with the the confirmation candles, and it's the second candle, right? Breaks and holds above the 9, I'll enter. I'm looking at the big picture too, but I mean to
right,
simplify it, yes, the break and hold above the 9, and my get out of the trade at worst scenario would be a break and hold below the 21, right? Now, do I stick to that religiously? No, I just don't. I mean, I'm a scalper, right? And I've said this probably 50 times already. I'm working on letting these things run, right? Don't get so, but generally, if I start seeing red candles, I'm quick to get out and then I'll re-enter, right? So I'm trying to cut that how many times I exit and re-enter. I'm still a work in progress. I'm better than I was last week, but I'm not as good as I want to be, right? I'm still
right.
jumping in and out but had you trust, and I told you that my mantra is, do I really trust my indicators? Do you really trust your indicators? If so, I'm looking here, right? If I'd have been in this trade, there's your break and hold above the 9, clear down here, right? Right at the beginning of the market open, basically. There was a lot of big key indicators that had breakthrough VWAP, which it did, right? Could have rode that sucker all the way up here. Well, here it broke the 9. Did it go into the 21? Nope. No reason to get out of that trade. Keep riding that up. Went up here and pulled back. Yeah, you gave up some profit, but did it break below, and hold below the 9? Nope. Still touching it, ain't it? Stay in that trade, right? It's still even above the 21 that we were talking about, right? Ride that up. And then you had a pullback up here at this, high for the day peak, right? And then it pulled back into the 21 and it consolidated, okay? Right. When I seen this candle and that candle, I probably would have jumped out again for sure. But the old me, I would have been in and out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 7 times if I rode that all the way up. So I'm trying to do is get it to where, only on major pullbacks would I exit and get out. But the correct way to do it, especially if you're going to be an EWO player, now this is on a 1-minute chart, but same difference, right? Until it gets down to what your line in the sand is, you got to stick with your trading strategy. It's hard to hold the course, right? If you watched us with GC Trading Meta this morning, there was a couple pullbacks there that got a little scary, and he hung in there, right? Now, he did shed, which was surprising. He did shed some of his holdings because he was holding 100 contracts, right? And locked in his profit. Matter of fact, I think he said when he shed to one group, he locked in $200,000 at that point. But he held on to the rest, and he made another $87,000 by sticking to his trading strategy, his principles, right? And his are the same thing that you just mentioned. It's the same thing I use, same thing that Coach teaches, right? Coach gets out when it gets down to the 21 even. He's a scalper, of course, and so am I. I consider myself a scalper, but I'm trying to get back to when I first started with American Dream Trading. My whole first year, I did nothing but EWOs. I didn't scalp. That's too scary. It's too hard. It's too risky, right? Do what this shows you until you decide to when you get out. And that was the perfect place to get out. And as you can see, then it started its down. So it's when you jump out too soon, and if you don't hurry up and reevaluate hey, that's still a good trade and get back in, then you miss all that, right? So the longer you can be disciplined and ride that line all the way up, right? There's nothing that said to get out. I mean, this is from 9:30 to almost 10 to 11. One trade.
Yeah, that was a ride.
Yeah, what I say it was $2,800, 27, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's developing that discipline to do that, right? One of our moderators traded NQ. She traded one contract, made $5,000 on one contract. Why? Because she had the discipline to get in here and ride all them bumps up and down. She had the discipline to stick with her trading criteria, which is similar to ours, right? And she rode that bad boy all the way up there, took what she could get out of it, right? Made $5,000. And she's a scalper too, right? But she's trying to change, and she's already successfully. I know she's still battling internally. She's got to be, whether she admits it or not, and I'm sure she would. But I'm not going to put her on the spot. But she decided that's what she was going to do, and that's what I'm trying to do because I don't like to be beat by any girl, right? And so I'm trying to reduce jumping in and out as much as possible. And if that means me really getting serious again about playing the EWO like I always did, it brought me proven success. Now I got proven success doing it the way I am, scalping. I'm not going to shy away from that. But how much more could I have gotten by not jumping in and out, right? Because when I jump out, I need to reassess. Do I want to jump back in? Is it still a good trade? Well, in that time, I might have lost 1 or 2 candles, right? And that could be money, a lot of money, substantial. Not only that, I'm adding additional transaction costs to my total overall profits and losses, right? So
and you're doing
$5
market orders.
What's that?
You do market orders in the future.
Yes, I'm pure marketing, market out.
That's the other thing. I think I took a sledgehammer over my head to get it figured out, but I was going in and out, right? So if I saw a red early on, I'd see a red, I'd jump out, figure it, it don't cost me anything because I'm doing stocks. Doesn't cost anything. Well, it does. Market makers they're making money on me every time I go in and out, right? So there's you don't pay a transaction fee, but based on the price I'm going back in on, and especially on some of the smaller stocks, they really get you if you don't pay attention to that L2 or try to set a limit. they'll mark it up on you. It's pretty amazing. Sometimes I'll go, what the heck? Yeah, especially if I've got my stop gets hit, or if I sell at market or something, I'm going, holy mackerel! I thought it showed I had a profit of 10%, and then I went and sold it at market, and all of a sudden it's 7%. I'm going, well, how'd that happen? Man,
Yeah,
alive.
I mean, yeah, when you're doing
Market
market
makers.
orders, you don't get the best fills, right? But if it's a stair stepping up, you will. The fills aren't bad,
Yeah,
right? It's
eventually,
the big
right?
like you say, it's the big gamma candles is where where you lose out on. But I mean, on this ride, how many gamma, we call them gamma candles. There's no gamma in trading futures, but you could see most. There's one here. Of course, you'd been in that trade, but most of these overall are just normal size candles. So, over a 10, 15 trade time, right? I think it evens out. Because doing limit orders takes longer to do the order, right? So how much money are you losing by the time you finagle around clicking it and getting the limit order set to where you want it, right? That's the way I see it. Now, people do limit orders all the time. I'm sure they're really good at it. It's just, I think it takes longer mechanics wise to set a limit order, right? Now, and part of that reason is because I don't use like the price ladder is a great way, right? I know I can just go right here, click, bang, market orders in right where I want. But I got to move two cataracts out of the way to see what's that number, what is that number, right? So yes, you can do a limit order just like that, right? Click in, look, I did it, and I'm up $125, right? I'm up $62, and I'm down. And I just clicked at random. I didn't click anywhere in particular. I just clicked at random. So yeah, if I would get proficient at using this price ladder to the DOM, the depth of market, right? I would be further ahead, right? And that's another skill that I haven't mastered, quite frankly, because I don't care to. But maybe I'd be better off financially doing this, right? I've never proven to myself that this is the better way. And we have members in our area that this is all they do. They use the price ladder to enter and exit trades, right? But I don't know. I guess that's another thing that I don't do that I perhaps need to explore, right? And so I'm always trying to learn something new. And if I can find it, well, dummy, look at how much money you may have gave away by not saying what price I wanted, right? Instead of letting a market order determine where I get filled. So this may be the better way, right? I determine what price I'm getting in instead of a market order, right? So when you do limit orders, how do you do it? You just do it in a classic trade type of thing, or are you using a price ladder, Joe?
No, when I do limits, I use Thinkorswim,
Oh,
and I
okay.
have
Yeah, I've never.
Trading View up. I like the coaches
Mm-hmm.
indicators on Trading View.
Yeah.
But no, and again, I've just got buttons there, right? And and I've got the L2 sitting there, and I've got time, and I think it's time and sales going, and I can order off a time and sales if I want. It's a ladder type thing like the DOM.
Yep.
And I'll do that but if it's a slower moving, there's no way I get away with that, on some of these bigger ones like the SPY
Yeah.
and Meta and some of these guys. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to, at this phase, I'm trying to stick to the smaller. I do Soxel, which can move a little bit, SMCI, which will move a bit, but yeah, and normally I can catch them just hitting the bid or setting a limit. But most of the time it's market,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Good.
gotta be
Yeah, that's
quicker.
how I do it. I mean, it's just so
Yeah.
much easier for me. And again, maybe it's because I'm lazy, right? I know I can just click one button. Well, maybe I'm better off doing limits, right?
Well, especially if you're scalping, right? You kind of got to do market, I would think. And I
That's
know
what I
that's what I
think,
like
but
about
yeah.
Levels seems to give you a lot of configuration options, which is
Mhm.
kind of nice.
Yeah, well, you can do the same thing here. I can come in here and use the classics, their standard thing, and I can
Yeah.
do market, limit, stop orders,
Yeah.
whatever, right? But there's more here that you got to look, right?
Plus
I can do
yeah.
ask plus 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, right? You can do all this too. So, not leave that there because if I accidentally click that, anyway. But yeah, some market order in and out. True. Good.
But do you use that L2 or you or Andrew, any
Oh,
Doug?
I'm a big L2 user.
On the, because you look at that, right? And I'm looking
Mhm.
at yours now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like they're all those red and green volume bars are all significant. So how in the heck are you going to know which one is resistant and which one's support?
Well, this is support and this is resistance. So,
Right. Yeah,
but
that I
I
know
don't
in
enter,
general, but
if I'm
price
thinking
wise,
about entering a trade and they're all the same like this, I'll wait
yeah.
because there's nothing
Okay.
here to tell me. They're fighting over the prices, is what it is, right? They're all
Yeah.
stacked up evenly. So if I just popped in here right now, well, number one, I'm gonna look at my chart. Well, I'm about ready to come down to a little mini double bottom down here, right? Well, it's a triple bottom when it gets there, right? And I'll look here. Is there any of these any of these contracts a larger amount significantly than the others? Well, if they're all the same, they're just sitting there fighting. There's no big
Yeah.
wall per se, single wall that wants to pull it down or pull it up in price. So I'll wait a little bit, right? Or, once this gets down, and part of the reason these are all the same right now is because it's coming down to a double bottom. Everybody else is waiting to do that double bottom bounce purchase, right? Or the breakthrough, the double bottom, triple bottom in this case, right?
Got it.
So why would I want to? Let's let the other fools play for this right now till it gets down to here at this line, which will be the low of the day, the New York low of the day, right? So why risk a trade here? We don't know where it's going to. Is this going to continue down? Is it going to continue to sell off? I don't know. I'll just sit here and wait. Let's let these people in here fight over the price. Because I know when it comes down to a triple bottom, there's a possible play. Well, there's two possible plays, right? It can do like statistically it will do is bounce off the double or triple bottom and go upward somewhat, and I can make a quick buck that way, or it'll continue to sell off and break through that triple bottom and continue its downward motion, in which case, once it does that, breaks and holds below it, then I'll enter the trade that way. So I already have a plan. Now, the other thing here is what kind of trend is it in? It's in a definite downward trend, right? So if I'm going to play a bottom bounce, I got to be in scalp mode because I'm going against the trend. I want to make sure when this thing goes against me, because I'm going against the trend, I can get out of it real quick. So statistically, it says it's going to come down here and go down, right? Because of the downward trend. But you can play that. I mean, eventually it's got to bounce off something and go up. Is it today? Is it right here? Well, I don't know. Any more than anybody else does. But why jump in here? And I mean, there's some serious money you can make between here and there, but I'm going to let them figure out what they're going to do. And then I'll jump in and take advantage of that after the fact, right? So good. That's some good discussion there.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it, Mark. Thanks for the time.
Yeah. Drewski on our YouTube live chat says for the GC's 287,000 trade today, did he scalp it or did he just stay in the trade? Yes, he actually stayed in the trade. He don't have all these indicators. He's very basic. He's an L2 trader. He watches his L2. He does have, I believe, I don't know if he had it on his meta chart, but the 9. So he believes he's the same way. The break and hold above the 9, ride it until it tells you to get out. And he'll do that. And he also he watches his L2 like a hawk. Matter of fact, GC is the one that helped me to further advance what Coach taught on how to read the L2 and take advantage of that. It's just another tool in your tool belt. You don't have to have this. I didn't have it for the first year. I did EWOs the whole first year. Didn't scalp. Didn't know what an L2 was. Was I still successful? Yep. You don't need all this data. You don't need 500 tools to trade, right? You need the basics. You need how to do a chart, right? What the chart's saying. Get your basic indicators on there. Understand what those mean and how it reacts to the lines on your chart and the movement, price movement. Once you understand the relationship between all these, that's all. You just need a few lines on your charts. He's literally got that, unless he's changed lately, and I'm sure he hasn't. He probably has the 9 only, and he knows where VWAP's at. That's all he really cares about. He reads rest on his L2, but he did stay in. I was hosting today, and I had the chart up watching him whenever he said that what he was trading, and I put it up on the screen. And you could see clearly that he was watching the 9, and then it started to break below the 9 while the L2 showed it anyway that was getting ready to pull back, and he shed the big, locked in 200,000. He let the other ones run. He shed some out more, and he's even maturing as a trader. He's a multi-millionaire, right? He's still growing every day, right? He never used to shed. He's like me, all in or all out, right? I'm still that way. I don't shed. I'm all in or all out. Now he's, trading 100 contracts. That's a substantial amount of money from your bank account, right out of your margin account. And then he did really well with that, right? So, and he didn't do anything different than what I would have done if I was trading that trade. And what's the difference? The size of our bank accounts. But again, if we both started at the same time and get out of the trade same time, we made the same percentage gain. It's just the amount of dollars that's associated with it. So, and everybody else, if they had been trading that and following coach's training, would have done the exact same thing GC did, albeit without the large bank account, right? So, the old saying, it takes money to make money. The more money you got, the more you can make if you're good at what you're doing, right? So, yeah, he does. He's very consistent on what he does there, Drewski. He's, like I say, he's very simple on what he does is the 9 and the L2. That's really all he needs on his charts. And he sticks to the principle to break and hold and ride it till it tells you not to, right? So he just watches them. He can read his charts. Just like this. Here, you got to break and hold above the 9 here, right? Would you enter this trade? I would have, right? It didn't come all the way down to the double bottom, but here's the 9. This is how I trade. Break and hold above the 9. There's your break above. Here's your confirmation candle there. I would enter this trade and I'd be in this trade right now. How far is that going to go up? Well, I don't know. It may come right up to here to this double top right here, right? It may come up to here and resist, right? There's a level right here too where it came down, right? Which is a critical level there to behind it. So it may pull back to there and sit for a little bit, right? So I have points of decision that I didn't have there a second ago. So, but yes, I would have entered this on the break of 9 and I ride it for whatever it's going to give me. If it starts to pull back, I'll jump out. If not, I'll ride the 9 until it keeps going up. As it approaches these different, these mini double tops here, it'd be a triple top, whatever, when it gets there, if it gets that far, I'm going to make a decision. I know I have to make a decision if I was in this trade and it's coming up to here. Why? Because I got this period points of resistance. So what am I going to do when it gets there? Am I going to sell before it gets there? Or am I going to be patient? Am I going to shed if it gets up there and pauses? Right. And it may not even make it because you got these lines, you got a place here where it kind of peaked, or you can say even right here, right? There's some lines here. So, this is why we do charting and we follow our trading strategies that coach teaches us because they work. The man's been here for 33 years, right? He knows what he's talking about. So what sense reinventing the wheel? Let's listen to somebody that knows what they're doing. Look, right there's that. I just deleted that line. Where's it at? It's right there right now, right? Just about. So would that have been a good trade, a good trading strategy? Break and hold above the 9, right? Break, confirmation candle, enter, ride it until it says to get out. Easy, squeezy, peasy. Again, we don't know how far that's going to go up, but I'm also have an exit plan, right? My first exit plan is at break and hold below the 9, right? Again, we're going against the grain here right now. We're in a downtrend, but now this is going up. Now, is this a reversal? Could be. Too soon to say. Come up here and just sell off and crash, right? So I'm still hyper aware where I'm at on my charts and where's my double tops and those type of things. And I'm going to trade as it happens. I'm not going to worry about what might happen. I'm going to worry about what's happening right now, and I'm making my decisions accordingly. Joe, got your hand up.
Yeah. Do the futures follow the same kind of trading volume hours? Like, you hear about the power hour coming up. What is that? Three o'clock on to 4?
Yeah, the last hour of the day. Yep.
So you see the same kind of volume influx or activity at the same time frames as the stock market? Okay.
Correct. Well, what you got to understand is futures are the parent. SPY is the child of futures. The bond market is, I think, the number one traded market. And then you got the currency markets, spot markets there are in there too. And then you have futures. Everything else is an offshoot of this. So not everybody trades futures. So the stocks seem more popular, but they're really just the children of the futures. Everything's based here. So this is the S&P 500 futures. It's the exact same thing as SPY in the stock options. It's just you're trading stock options and contracts instead of just straight contracts. We don't have the Greeks here. We don't have to deal with that. So that's an advantage and a disadvantage. So is this a break and hold strategy above the 9? Does it seem like that worked out for pretty good for me if I'd have been in that trade, which I'm not, right? Break, hold, enter. Am I making money? I'd say that's a pretty good strategy, wouldn't you?
Not bad.
There's a almost 50 tick rise, right? One contract, 50
yeah.
times 1250 is $625 I'd have made just from here to there in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes.
So
Bam.
even though you've got the 21 and the 50, is that the 55?
Yes, the red one's 55. Yeah.
So you still got to drive through those,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
Those are also a bit of resistance, potential resistance, I should say. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and I'm treating them that way. Okay, I broke and hold here. You know, if you really want to be sure, wait till it gets above that. But it'll move sometime. You know, it could have went up here and pulled back on me. I'd have made a few bucks, but you know, you don't never know what a trade's going to turn into, right? So I'm using the break and hold above, right? Now, in the ideal situation, it would be 9/21/55 and it hasn't crossed over yet, right? So really strong trade. Now I got what's my barriers to making more money here? Well, I got these triple tops. I got a key level up here, which happens to be a triple top. It is now anyway. It wasn't what that line was there originally for. I drew that line, whatever, right? Now I got the 200 MA up here that may bounce and hold off of, and VWAP if it makes it that high. But I ain't worried about them yet. I got to get through this mess if I was in this trade, right? Is there anything that says to get out of this trade yet using your indicators? Nope. Has it fell below the 9 and gone below the 21? Nope. One of the reasons is because it's climbed faster and these are trying to catch up. All these indicators are all lagging indicators. The only thing on this chart that's accurate at this second is your volume indicator. Volume is the only thing that's a true measure. All the rest of these are what we call lagging indicators because they're taking the last 9 candles and doing the math and drawing a trend line, right? So it's these are what's already happened. So, but it gives you a picture of the trend. The 9 is short-term trend. Now you see the 21's getting ready to cross. This cloud will turn from red to green if this continues up. Now there it is, pulling back already, right? This trade is not as strong as it could be because the inverse hasn't happened. These flipped the way they should, and you have these up here. But I'm prepared to get out of the trade, right? We'll see if it bounces off the 9. Now, again, if I had entered down here, everything from here up to there is profit. So I'm still in profit. Now, if it breaks below the 9, yeah, I'm going to probably get out. I'm not going to let it run all the way back. I would already exited on the second red candle, to be quite honest with you. But this could very well hit. It hasn't held below the 9 yet. It's below it, but it hasn't held below it, right? So it could very well bounce. Plus, you have these others here that could be a potential bounce point. So you just have to wait and see. So you have to decide when to exit. There's nothing on my chart that tells me to get out. I have to make that based on my own information. Now, I would have got out up here, quite honest with you, but that's beside the point, right? Sometimes we have to trust our indicators. In this case, it didn't bounce. Is it going to bounce here and jump right back up or not? We don't know. Again, this was a little bit of a weaker trade, and you're trading against the trend. Remember, I said the trend's your friend. This is a downward trend. So if I'm going to scalp against the trend to the upside, I got to treat it as a scalp and get out as soon as I can with a maximum amount of profit. And that would have been up here, right? I would have definitely got out on that second candle. Quite honestly, I probably would have got out on the first red candle, but that's just me, right? Now look at it. It's coming right back down. Why? Because we were going against the trend. And there's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't a real true double, unless I look across here. Maybe it was you could argue right there is the tops of those candles. Yeah, it wasn't really a true double bottom, but kind of was. Down at a level that it didn't want to be. So now it's coming right back down to it again, right? I could have turned around and played this to the downside. Now I can enter a trade to the downside because what? There's a break below the 9, and there's to the downside, right? So I could have been loaded for bear waiting on that. So we make money when it goes up. We make money when it goes down. That's another thing I'm working on too, is making sure I hurry up and play the other way, whether it's going up and then down or down and then up. Sometimes I get so excited about making all the money when I'm going up, I forget to jump back into trade and write it down, right? Or vice versa. So that's the beauty of futures, is you can do that. If you're laser focused and really keep your wits about you, and when it does this, which it does hundreds of times a day, right? Goes up and then it comes down. You can scalp that to the downside also. Now, I don't have very many lines on my chart to help me make decisions, but maybe this weekend I'm going to redo my charts again. I haven't done them lately. So what did it do? It came down here. It still didn't quite make it quite as low as it wants. It's higher lows, if you want to say. It's trying to go back up there. Now, here we go. Could I scalp that up? I would wait for the next candle before I would decide to jump in it, but a real scalper would have already been in and out of that one candle. So you rinse and repeat all day long. You could also play the EWO strategies, which everybody should. You would have entered here, right? This is where you would have entered this particular downside trade. There's your candle that's larger than the first, right? And you could have rode that all the way down, and then until it told you to get out. Once you consolidated here and started reversed, it could have got out right here for sure, right? That would all been profit from up here all the way down to there. Could have did the break and hold on the way up if I wanted to play in between. But it's kind of got choppy there a little bit, so I probably wouldn't have played around with that. So now what do we have? We have another EWO that started over here. Now this one didn't last as long. And so even though you would have made money by entering there, because you would have entered right here, right? To start when that bars it, you could have rode that up and you decide when to get out. Now this is a short-lived one, right? It did pull back and it did break below the 55 and all that jazz. So yeah, definitely wouldn't have rode that down to nothing. But so that one, even though it's a good EWO, it didn't last very long. But if you'd have entered properly here, you'd have made money from here and then decide to get out of pair, right? So you can do that all day long. So let's just call that a 25 tick. What's 25 times 12, right? 25 times 25. I could have made $300 just riding that little bit right there. Well, it doesn't look like much. Yeah, well, that's $300 on one contract. What if I had 5 of them? Right? In 1, 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Would you take $300 if you had to stand on 1 foot for 4 minutes? Sure you would, right? I don't think I could stand on 1 foot for 4 minutes, but that's besides the point. What other questions we have over there on our YouTube live feeds and our other social media feeds, right? So very good trading ups and downs. You want to see that. You'd like to see it go straight up like it did this morning. It makes for an easier trade. These are just piles of money. I mean, just unbelievable. Here's the break and hold here, right? We talk about this every day if you haven't caught on yet. There's the break of the 9. There's your confirmation. You could have got in, let's just say you got in here at the bottom, right? Bottom of that candle. Rode that down there, sat the consolidation for a minute and it's like, that's enough for me, right? We'll just call that, what's that say? Get my cataract out of the way. 62 times 1250, $750. Could have turned around, did the same thing, it would have been a lot choppier, been a lot tougher. Actually, it broke and hold here and it pulled back, but now you're in kind of a no man's land when you're sitting in this stuff, but you just have to be on your A game, right? Same way riding it down. There's another bunch of money. Could have rode this back up on a break and hold here. Made decent money there and definitely would have made money there, right? Just on that pullback. So opportunities are available every single minute for a good trade. You just have to learn to recognize them, have to stick with whatever your trading strategy that you're using. If it's the EWO, then you wait for the EWO to start, right? And then you take advantage of it. EWO is the way to go. It almost rhymes. Right? And where do we learn to do that at? AmericanDreamTrading.com. By the way, we do have some membership specials going on today. We have the VIP lifetime for for $3,500, I believe. We have the VIP Gold Lifetime add-on, which you have to have the VIP already for the same price. Or you can buy both of them in one package if you don't have either one currently for $6,000. Okay. And we also have the crypto is $500 for the first year. We'll renew it at its regular price the following year because we're building that program up, so it's steeply discounted at the present. You'd be part of helping build it, as a matter of fact, if you love crypto. And also, we have our Diamond membership, which is our all-inclusive. I don't know how many of them are left. We did have 2. I don't know if one of those or 2, both of them got sold yet. It's a $50,000 value for $8,000. Normally he sells at 20, and he did knock it down to 8,000 for a short period of time until those are gone. And as you can see, if you'd spend $6,000 just on the VIP and VIP Gold Lifetimes, it's only like $2,000 more, and that gets you everything that we've ever created, everything that we ever will create, all for one price, one time, never pay again. So when our new products come out, our new teaching things come out, you don't pay any extra. I mean, the mentorship program, which is 1 hour a week with coach alone, is $500 a month, $6,000 a year, right? That's just one program, and that's included in that Diamond membership. VIP Gold breakout rooms is part of the VIP Gold memberships. Put a value on that. So it's well worth it. I highly suggest you snag up them Diamond membership, which is an all-inclusive lifetime for everything, forevermore, and ever will be membership with AmericanDreamTrading.com. Trading Pennies made it back. Good afternoon. Did you have a good workout, Trading Pennies? Good to see you. So, any other questions? What about from the peanut gallery over there? Members, you want to say hi to those on YouTube and our other social media networks? Open up your mics. Let's wake up over there. All
Hello,
once.
hello.
One person? All right. Come on, Matt Tech. At least I can expect yours out of you. Come on, Matt Tech. You can do it.
You need somebody to talk. What they doing? They focus. They focus right now.
Oh, is that what they're doing? They're focused on a trade. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract you. All right. We'll buy that excuse.
Well, look at AES, man. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. I'm sitting there talking about while you're watching you guys make money on it, right? That's kind of the theme of the day for me, isn't it? And don't feel bad for me. I'll get up in the morning and make money. That I can assure you. All right. Double scoop today. Ooh, double scoop of ice cream? Double scoop of profits. Which was it, Trading Pennies? Over there on YouTube Live. So, anyway. Hello? Anybody home?
Cricket. I love this stuff. I mean, look at that movement. A great pattern.
Choppy right now for my taste, but yeah.
Well, it's just retesting.
Yeah.
There was a
and we're
huge
now in
order
power
at,
hour, so anything can happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a huge order that it lurched up to and then retested the indicators again. That's kind of where it's kind of hanging out.
I mean, I see oil. Oil's been kind of flat, but now they're stepping up nicely also.
Is it now? Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. Been flat for the last few hours. Coming up to the double top area. And again, oil and the metals don't have a whole lot of volume at this time of the day, neither does currencies, but doesn't mean you can't make money on it. You just got to sit there longer. Copper's flat. What did I tell you about copper the other day? So it tends to rise and go up like crazy, right, for a day or two, and then it goes 2 or 3 days and does nothing, and then it rinses and repeats in a cycle. Gold's been really chaotic today. Big shoot up in the beginning of the day, and I made money on the downside over here. And it's just been up and down. That would have been, well, this wouldn't have been a fun ride, but all the other ones would have been. Even this last one went up. Silver do today. Silver psychotic like usual. Look at the wicks on them candles. Whew. You gotta know what you're doing if you're trading silver. It's got a lot of
I
price
don't know how
moves.
you do it, honestly.
Well, I catch one. I get lucky. Catch them when they're going straight up or straight down. Right.
right.
I mean, the wicks aren't too bad right here. It's a nice steady EWO type of thing. Yeah, the times I've made really good money was just kind of just happened to be to look at it at the right time, right? And just say, I'll ride that up, and ended up turning it into more than what I expected, right? What are we doing with the NASDAQ? Ooh, that's kind of ugly too, right? Maybe ugly to you, but a person that trades NQ all day long, making money on that. They ain't afraid. They ain't afraid to make money. Look at that.
Ain't scared.
It's up, right down, and it's got right here. So now I know our one big NQ trader sitting here waiting on a decision. Is it going to break and hold above or below?
Waiting in the weeds, as she says.
Wait around. I'm not going to jump in yet. It hasn't decided.
It's
Want
making
that
higher
break and
lows,
hold.
so that's good.
Yep. Matter of fact, that girl that's in here right now, are you sitting and waiting like I predicted you are right now? Yes, she is. There you go. See that? Do I know her real well? Well, I do, but I also know her trading strategy, and I know she has been trained by a coach.
This is like Christmas, a kid in the candy store. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's like
She's got her hand
toy
in the
store.
jar right now. There's
Oh,
a break.
good.
Do we have the hold? No.
Nope.
Nope. Wait. Hold.
Come on.
Hold. But what do we got to deal with here? This other one peaked right here too, right? So we have these little mini double tops that's formed in this chop, right? And we got the 200 up there. So she can still make money from there to there, right? We'll wait
A little
and
bit more
see.
on the cautious side these days, but
Yep. Well, it's the time of the day too, right? So,
Yep.
we're in power hour.
I like
Anything
to
can
dabble.
happen.
It could just shoot up and go make a new high.
Yeah.
Okay.
It ain't going to the Ralph's line today. I can tell you that much. I'm sure this time.
Don't jinx it.
It bounced off my line though, didn't it? Ain't
Yes,
that
it
yellow
did.
line?
Yes,
Yeah,
right there's
yeah.
Ralph's line.
That's that zone. I'm telling you, whenever you get right there, that's where the buy step up at.
Yep. So we're channel trading. Look at this. Look how long it's been in this channel here, right? Touched up here and down here and bounced around like a ping pong ball. That takes a lot more skill to trade those kind of things, but there's a lot of money to be made in each one of them ups and downs, right? So just like this one here, if we got in off that top and rejection down, if you want to play a pure channel trade, that's 300 and let's just say 340 ticks times what, $5? That's $1,700, just that one downtrend right here. 17 on one contract. One contract's what, $1,200 basically that you have to have in your margin account. Again, true cost is only $4.50. Joe,
What is Ralph's line? How did you set that?
well, if you'll go back
Other-
into YouTube or in our
The
Discord,
crystal ball, right? He's got a crystal ball.
Yeah, kind of. Mark, that's what Mark ate crow that day. Mark said there ain't no way in the world that
He
thing's
spends a
dropping
lot
200
of time
points.
evaluating charts.
Yes. And this was clear up here, almost 20,000. And he said, well, it's coming down to 19.8. And I'm like, no, I publicly said, no, it ain't, Ralph. There ain't no way. And it dropped 200 points.
Ah,
Hit that line exactly. So that's forever known as Ralph's line on my chart.
It's just basic support and resistance.
Yeah, it is.
okay.
But yeah, it's a support level, 19.8. But if you go back and watch last Friday or Monday's St. Patty's Day broadcast on the Futures Live in about the last, I don't know, 45 minutes, was it? It was about 2:45, I think. You'll see our interaction between myself and Ralph when I was running my mouth and told him he was crazy, and he held to his guns anyway, and it came, bam, nailed it right to the penny. Yeah, so you got to watch what you say sometimes publicly because, crow tastes terrible.
I
Especially,
think whenever it was down and it was just resistant, like that's where it was selling off at every time it
Mhm.
tried to come up. It'll just come up and sell off at that area from the wicks.
You can see it is a good support level. I mean, yes, I have this joke on here about Ralph's line, but it is a legitimate level of support or resistance if it's coming up through it. See, look here, even after the fact, look how many times has hit this level. Bang, bang. All right. Here it came up, testing, trying to break through, right? It finally did. Look how many times it was banging its head against that line trying to get through. All right. So you'll be able to scroll through here. You can probably go back, I mean, it always hasn't been this. I'd look back here. When's this? This was Wednesday. Look at it banging around the line there, right? Look at it bang and bounce off of there. Ding, right? Here it is. Came up. Look how many candles tried to bust through and rejected. Went back up, retested, rejected, come back up, then it finally broke through, right? So what's that tell you? That's a pretty daggone good line, ain't it? So
Yeah, it goes all the way back into last week, I think, where it was like before it was trying to break through it.
mm-hmm.
That line been acting like a magnet.
Yep. So since I humiliated myself, I designated that as Ralph's line. I thought it was pretty funny myself. And we watched it do that in front of billions and billions of people live on our social media feeds. I don't know how many people watch, but not billions. Could be. Since I don't know, I'm saying there was billions of people watching. How's that? That's not a statistical fact, by the way. Well, look
Sounds
at
good to me.
we had a member earlier ride Bitcoin down. Look what happened. Yep, he rode that puppy all the way down from up here. Rode that baby down, following the break and hold strategy, and rode that all the way down, and he got out down here somewhere. Did that today on Bitcoin, nano Bitcoin, as a matter of fact. Cost him $30, and he more than doubled his money, right? So, yep, metals are done. I got to stand up. Hang on, excuse me a minute. I got to stand up real quick.
So, Mark, do you think gold is about to get ready to sell off a bit since they had that strong one candle move up and then push down? That up thrust or whatever they call
I think the metals are going to just kind of sit there for a while right now, right? Because,
it.
the Fed already played their hand, said what they were going to do. And that's what, we like metals like indecision and right, uncertainty. And we still have that. So I think it's still going to hold its own for a while, right? And generally after one of these type of meetings, then, your first 2 days, generally you don't really know how the market's going to react. Today it went berserk, right? Went to the moon. Well, where's it at now, right? So, it's right back. At the end of the day, there's a New York low, right? So it's almost back to where it started today, right? Or the
That's-
lowest point
and
that
that's-
it started, right? It started out and then shot up, and now it came back down and it's kind of hung neck down there. But it's still, where we got
That's
here? ES is
ES.
still, it's only down a quarter of a point. So, yeah, the NASDAQ's in Q, Russell's down a half a point, and the gold's actually up a third of a point, and the S&P's down a quarter point. Oh, actually, oil's up. Geez, oil's up almost 2% today, 1.94%. Bitcoin's really dropped out, down 3%. That's Bitcoin, right? That's chaotic. You got to know what you're doing if you're playing that, trading that, right? And there's the break and hold, and where are we at now on NQ? We're at the 200 MA that we talked about earlier, right? What's it doing? It's sitting there trying to break through. It's testing it. You're also at a triple top here, right? So you're getting all those put together there. It's got to break through this. You want to break and hold. If you're not already in this trade, you want to wait for a break and hold above. Then you got to deal with the other levels as you go up. Plus there's VWAP up there. And it is power hour. So, all right, Joe, see you later. Joe, remember it was just talking a little bit ago. That's the leave for the day. One of the great things about being a day trader is freedom of time. You do whatever you want, whenever you want. Trade in the morning, go run around, whatever. So, all right. Nico says he's hoping up. Well, there's one thing we don't do around here, Nico, is trade on hopium. Unfortunately, all of us traders get into hopium, especially when we make a bad entry, right? A hopium that goes up and I don't lose money, or a hopium that goes down if I'm in a short, so I make money. That's not a way to trade on hopium, right? We trade the trades in front of us, look at our indicators. What's the barrier for this to go higher? Well, I can see right here, right? We got all these levels here that we got to bust through. See how these all topped out, these double tops. I got a key level here, older key level. I don't know how accurate that line is. I got the 200. It's got to break through that first, break and hold. If it breaks and hold for that, you might have a good up run. But then you get through that, get through these double tops, triple tops here, and I got to break through VWAP up there, right? So then it'll be back right back to where it opened up at. So crazy, right? But these are all the decisions you have to make, and you can only acquire them through training and education. Following coach's rules. Do you know coach had rules? Do you know what coach's rules are? Can you state what coach's rules are?
I think we need to
Okay,
hear 'em.
remind me.
Well, let's
Some
let
of the
Coach
rules.
tell you.
Okay, somebody, perfect question. You're asking the right questions. I like it already. I'm new here. What are the rules? That's what I'm talking about. So again, right? Some of the most basic rules so I can help you guys. Think about this. Stop losses on each and every trade. What does that do? Keeps you from losing your accounts, right? Not hard. Paper trade only when you're a new trader. It makes sure you're not blowing up your accounts. You're not obviously ready for this. Am I right? Think about it. Every rule I have is not make money. It's keep your money. Don't trade in the first 3 minutes or the last 8 minutes of the day. It's the hardest time of the day. I've been doing this 33 years. It's very hard. I get chopped up all the time and I'm like, ooh, it looks good. Oh, it looks good. Oh, I'm going to do it again. Oh, stop. I'm doing it to protect you, right? If you're a new trader, don't trade in the first 30 minutes because it is the most volatile, right? Until we get the shift change when volume comes in again at 10 o'clock. Because why? The very beginning is like this. Yo, 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 yo. Typically, after the first 30 minutes, it will try to decide which way do I want to go today. I'm avoiding you getting wrecked, right? Last hour of the day is power hour, high volume, hedge fund managers making the things happen, trying to get markets to move the way that they want. I'm telling you to stay out of it. So if you're like, well, I keep getting burned up, why are you doing it? Right? Journal. It's for your own mental strength so that you can see what you are doing on a daily, consistent basis. That's all it is for. Did I trade it right or did I trade it wrong? What should I have done? What could I do better? That is what it's for, right? It's your homework every day. You guys can go back and review your trades and go over your journal and what should I have done right there and why did that not work out? It will help you, right? You're strengthening your brain and you're getting rid of your own stuff. Small position sizes. I say that because usually when you go into large, your emotions take over. You're not trading robotically. You're not trading the trades. You'll end up blowing up your accounts, right? That's when we make a lot of mental mistakes. Is all the difference was we're going in too big. Let the runners run and stop out the losers. Again, notice the stop part is the most important. Stop out the losers so you don't continue to lose money. If you find yourself in these bleed out sessions, oh, well, I hope. Oh, it's going to come back. Oh, we'll see. Oh, it's coming down to support. Oh, it broke that support. Maybe this next, oh, stop. Draw a line in the sand. Use the stop. And then when you guys go green, right? Like, oh, I'm up 100. I'm taking that. That's my daily. That's what I told myself. That's what I told myself. If I can make 100, I'm going to take that. It could have turned into 2,000. Why are you taking 100? Let the runners run. I notice I never said take all the runners off the table. Never said that. I've never said that in my life. We use the shedding technique. We collect as it goes. We take off as it goes, because that way we are guaranteeing locking in realized profits. Remember, nothing is realized until you actually click, right, the sell button. All these rules are in place, ladies and gentlemen. They're there to help you. If you can't do these very basic things we talk about, right, how are you going to advance? Stop saying woe is me. Stop saying I don't get it. Stop saying I'm not a good trader. I guess I'm never going to get it. Yeah, because you can't follow my basic rules. They're there for a reason. Again, follow the freaking rules, right? And listen, I know when I get on you guys, you know, I don't get to sell anything and I don't get to make any money, and it's just, I don't care. I need you guys to understand so that you guys can get ahead in life. This is what we're doing this for, right? So when I'm in this mode, right, and again, like, oh, I'm not listening to any of this. You need to listen to all this. This is where the secret sauce, this is the golden nuggets, not the, coach, just call out that runner. That isn't going to do you any good, right? It doesn't matter. There's 8 million people in this room. We could call out stuff all day long. You could just hear us shouting stuff. That isn't going to help anybody. If you don't know what to do with it, what good does it matter if one is up or one is down? That means nothing to anybody. If you don't know how to handle it, you might get lucky and catch a momentum, and you're like, oh, I'm a great trader, and you just keep getting out a million times. It's because it's been going in the same direction all damn day, right? Can you duplicate it? Can you recreate the process every day consistently? This is all about consistency, okay?
And there you go. That's how we do it. Follow coach's rules all the time, every single day, every single trade, right? Again, it's not there to make you money. The rules do not make you money. They help you preserve your capital. What you throw away today, you can't trade tomorrow. So let's try to keep as much of our stuff as we can each and every day. So the Qs there, well, they didn't go up so much, did they? Hit the 21, broke a back, and pulled back in big time, right? That's why we wait on the break. There's your break. Was that a confirmation candle above the 200? Nope. It was a doji candle. So, and what else? We had that level right there. And what did it do? That's why we wait exactly for that break and hold. And there was not a hold candle there. Come up here, and what did it do? Rejected. Now I'm below the indicators. Now what do? Do I wait? I broke down below this one. Do I have a break and hold yet? Well, it got a doji there. Yeah, here's maybe your confirmation candle. If it's very weak, again, you might be able to play it down to here or over one of these down here before it even gets there. It's kind of a very weak trade, but a scalper can make money off of that, right? You know, can I just jump in this anytime I want to? Well, you know, you could, but I don't like it. It's just too jammed up, everything. It's just, to me, that's not an appealing trade to me. So, but it could very well come down. It's broken out below the 9. Again, these aren't inverted like we would really like to see them, but it doesn't mean I can't jump in there and make money. See, it's pulling right now, right? The odds are this is not going to sit very well for. See if that actually processes my order I put in there. It's catching up. Yep, see, there it is. Now it caught up. My internet connection to that had faltered. So there's my ticks. Oh, look, I'm up going against the grain here. Now I'm up 100, down to 90, 40. Now I've lost 45. Again, see, this is kind of a iffy trade, right? We'll be patient and see if it wants to pull down, right? What am I in here? I'm in the Qs, ain't I?
I've been in ES since the break of the 55.
No, have you?
Sitting at
Do I have
about
any
20
large
ticks.
walls there to tell me it's going to pull down? No, not really, but that doesn't mean it won't. Now I'm up 150. I'm up 180, right? I only have 3 contracts here, and I'm up 600. Now I'm up 700, right? I'm watching this level right here to see how it's going to get, and that would be around the 16,819 area. I'm going to watch that. Or what? 819. 1918. My number's backwards. Let's say. Get my cataract out. 19,819. Now I'm only up $100, right? While I was trying to figure out what it was, it pulled back on me, right? So I would already lock the profits in whenever it hit there. I'm just letting it run so you can see what it does. If this had been a real trade, again, this is paper trading, but when that said 600, I guarantee you I would have took that money. I ain't gonna let that get away from me. It's a lot of money, right? Let's see how volatile this is. The indicators are there behind me, but see, it stopped me out. But they haven't really inverted over to a downward trend per se. So it's a little bit of a weaker trade. But I would have made over $600 on that trade had I clicked it, right? So, and I would have took that. I probably would have took it before 600, to be quite honest with you. Because I knew going into this was a very weak trade, but yet there was a short-term money that I could have made there. So that's how you can do that.
Yeah. I had 7 contracts on that one. Got out before the green candle hit the top body of the previous red.
Did the exact same thing, didn't it? Same chart. It looks like the exact same chart, right?
Pretty much. They're sisters.
Yep, they are. I don't trade NQs all that much anymore. There's no reason I can't. There's no reason I don't. It's just, I don't know. I'm trying to get the ES down really well. All right. So there's a break above the 9, right? What's going to stop my upward momentum on the ES? Well, I got this big old indicator right here, right? 200 MA, very strong indicator. I'm also at a little mini top for right now where it's at. So again, another weak looking trade. The 9's clear down here, hasn't caught up yet. I don't like that trade either. That's pretty ugly. Doesn't mean it can't burst up through there, but I would avoid actually getting in this trade just for that reason. Just ugly. Why risk my trade? Why risk my money, right?
Even though the trend slightly kind of moved its way up, the 2 minutes still heavily down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to end up ugly here today, just by the looks of it. It's really everything's channeling. The Russell's even channeling. This has a bigger channel, but yeah, I don't like the setup. Everything's too jammed up. Now, if we can break through up here, then I might be interested. I'd even be more interested if it breaks through here, but I'd be more favorable to play the downside than I would the upside. But you take what you can get sometimes, but you don't want to force trades. There's no reason, especially on power hour. Shouldn't be trading anyway unless you're experienced, right? Actually, gold has climbed back up to its high for today, and it is up. GC is up almost 0.4% today.
These candles are getting wicky.
Yeah, there's no reason to put yourself through that, right? I mean, if this is the first time you traded all day, well, then shame on you, right? You missed out on everything today. But I ain't going to risk the biscuit on that garbage. That's a garbage trade. It's not that I couldn't make money, but I have a higher chance of losing money than I do making money, right? So, you do the Ben Franklin thing. Is there more benefits or more negatives about the situation? Well, I already see more negatives to me in that situation. It's all jammed up. Now, here's another principle to remember for future reference. When these things, all your indicators are all jammed up, I would like to see this down here further, but when they're all jammed up, it doesn't have to move very far at all to be on one side or the other of the trade. You could easily go, if these were all jammed up down here together, it doesn't have very far to move to go to the upside, or doesn't have very far to move to go to the downside. So it's actually kind of cool when all these things mesh together down here and it gets an all jangled up mess, right? All you got to do is wait for the candle to break either to the upside or downside. Jump in that turns out usually to be a very good trade when that happens. So I like those kind of things. And that's just another little tidbit that Coach taught us the one day. Many days, but yeah, that's the thing. I like seeing that, and they're all jammed up. Right Here you got the 955 and the 21. So even these indicators really haven't crossed over like you'd want to see them for a strong trade. Why? Because it's been going up and down. And these things are a lagging indicator, so it takes a little bit of time of consistent movement in one direction for them to do their change. Comment. Yeah, Nico, I've
Yep.
always listened to the sound of coach's voice. You usually will come out further ahead. Again, just because it doesn't work on one trade, maybe you misread the trade, but just like this, is there any reason to put yourself through this mess right here? Absolutely not. Look at the wicks on it, right? Wicked, wicked ugly.
This is a definite trash panda right here.
Yeah. Yes. Now, as a scalper, coach, sharper mind, sharper wit, sharper reaction. Could he have scalped that? Yep. Right. Do I want to take a chance to scalp that? Do I want to do something like that? I might scalp that to the downside. I think it's going to bounce off that 21 or the 200. Let's see if it does or not. Oh, look, I'm up 60, 90, 120. Right? I should have took it back there when it was bouncing around, right? See, now it's going to break above. I didn't move my mouse up to click off of it. I was just telling you what it said instead of taking it, right? But it all usually will resist and bounce and gyrate a little bit. You can make a few bucks that way. It's pretty risky, as you can see, because now it's on the other side. But is it going to stay there? Probably, right? It hasn't broken hold above it yet. So I'll guarantee you, if this does pull down, I would take the money. If not, I'm going to have to rip the Band-Aid off, right? And get out of the trade. I'm already would have been out of this trade. But see how much that indecision by not being ready when I did that bounce and hold up, bounce off the indicator. Now, I expected it to come down about halfway, quite honest with you, because this was a big gamma candle and it'd probably have 50% retracement, but it didn't. But because of that, see, now look how much money you can be out that quick. So that's why you don't want to play around. Do I have hopium? It might come back. No, I'm not going to play with hopium this long, right? As soon as that crossed the line there, I should have been out of it. Or I could have took the couple $100 that I would have had by being in it. Again, this is paper, right? I'm sharing these things with you on paper. Same way I wouldn't enter this right now either. There's a break. There's a break and hold, but right here's a little mini double top right there where it's at, right? So I would just stay away from this right now till unless it breaks up above all this mess. Just a little safer, a little bit more conservative. It's not that you can't make money doing that. But right there, you can see where these candles peaked. Look, right there, right? It's an invisible barrier. See that? And look where these wicks are touching. Oh, right where these touched. Right? There you go. And look what happened. Reject. Had I stayed in that trade, right? I'd be making money right now because this is about where I got in at right here, right? But so those are all them little things you can do that you can make money once you get the experience and how to read these things and what was going to happen. Am I some wise trader that I knew it was going to stop there or potentially slow down? No. I learned that from AmericanDreamTrading.com, right? And over the years now, I've had experience and more education and everything. So we know that if you're actively processing what's going on your chart right in front of your face, you can capitalize on them little tiny things, right? Now, will I jump in here on a break and hold down below? Well, I can, right? I can do that if I want. See if it breaks below that. It's got to break and hold. I want to see one more candle below the 200. I want to see it below the 55, actually. But again, you still got all this trash right here, right? So basically, you're gambling if you do this kind of garbage, right? Don't gamble. There's no reason for it, right? You're in the most volatile hour of the day, at the end of the day, power hour. Why risk it? Then you blow up your money and you end up losing money and then you're pissed off again until you can trade, right? And the good thing about futures, I can start trading again at 6 o'clock. I don't have to be mad all night, just for a while. Unfortunately, I won't be able to trade tonight. I got to leave the house here in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Be gone for a few hours, so And then do I want to sit in front of a computer the rest of the day after sitting here yakking for 6 hours today? No, no, I don't actually. I can't wait to stand up, to be quite honest with you. Why do we do this? Because we like you so much. It's fun. Again, even though I'm not actively trading, my brain is still running. I am still analyzing these trades. Even if I do enter the trade, I know it's not real money, but my brain is still analyzing these things, right? This is trash. This is just pure trash. I ain't playing with that. Not in real life. And if you wouldn't play with it in real life, don't play with it with fake money, right? Because then you start developing a bad habit. Well, look, I did it right a couple times, right? Well, there's another break. Again, while I enter this trade, yeah, if it breaks and holds above that yellow line that I got there, even though there's this little spike here, may not be as concerned about these because I had more of them right here, right? I just don't want to do it, right? But I'll sit here and wait and see if it'll bust up above there. Can I make a few bucks? Sure. I got time. I got 40 minutes. How about you? 20 minutes. What'd I say? 40 minutes? 20 minutes. But we can sit here and stare at this, right? If it rejects off there again, I'm going to quit looking at it. Wait and see. More times now, here's another principle. You know, when you get these double, triple, quadruple tops, the faster it comes back to retest it, the weaker this line of resistance becomes, right? So you get these, you know, it may have hit here once and it might have been 2 hours ago when it hit it the last time. Well, we already know, you know, there's this 19.8 was a really strong resistance. So we have this one here, and this will be the third attempt to break and hold above it. This one did break it, but it didn't hold, right? It rejected, came back off of it again. So more quicker. This has a higher potential. Every time it retests, has a higher potential of breaking through. So there's a little bit of hope that it might break through this time. I'll sit here and see.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Here we go. Sometimes trading is staring at your chart, waiting for that opportunity that you think might come to materialize. And I am not looking at this anymore. I told you I was trash. Right? Look, exact same thing over here. I ain't looking at that one either. Trash. Ooh, there's a little one. Could break and hold above this and maybe go up to VWAP. Nah, trash. It's doing the same thing, right? Charts almost look the same, right? Only difference between this one is it's actually hugging the 200. Can I make a few bucks going up here and, you know, getting in and out, right? I could do a pure scalp, I guess, if it does it. If it breaks and hold, but it doesn't look like it wants to, does it? Wants to come down to, let me get on the right, oh wait, I'm on the Russell. That ain't the right one. There we go, there's the Russell. We'll take a look, see what the Russell's showing us. It's 2000, oh, must be the June. Yeah, this is on the June chart now. Is it going to break and hold up there? Nope. Is it going to do down here? Well, you can see the same thing happen here, right on the Russell. You got all this trash. Got this little double bottom down here. You got another little one bracket here. Just don't want to play with that. It's just call it a day, pack it in, get up, walk away. That way you're not tempted to trade that. Force a trade. I'm very famous for forcing trades, trying to make something out of nothing when I know better. I know better, especially when I lose money doing that, like I did last Sunday night, forcing trades on low volume, hoping them that it was going to do something, and it didn't. Yeah, it did something. It took my money. It was fake money, but irregardless, right? I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose any money. I don't have to. Yeah, there's gold sitting there, another high today. Not a record high, but high of today. Copper taking a nap today. Got some violet swings. I'll look again at copper probably on Monday, see what it wants to do Monday, Sunday night. Oh, I'll be looking at gold. First thing I do when I get up every morning was 4 or 5 in the morning. I come down here with a cup of coffee in hand and I look at my gold chart. That's the first thing I look at every single morning. Why? Because about every single morning I'll make money off trading gold. It's just like I like trading it. I like to make money. But once in a while it'll do that to me. But then I get this inner voice in my head that tells me,
You can do it!
there we go. Boy, am I witty or what? And then other times I'll like these trades here. I'll look at them and then I will. There we go. All right. Join
I
that
think you've
entertainment.
lost your marbles.
I did. It's great having this stream deck. It's got all kinds of buttons that I could push, you know.
I saw you, or I heard you brought trash back. That's great. I love that.
Brought what?
Trash. The way you say trash. It's
Oh,
funny.
trash. Oh, yeah. Well, you know who I got that from. Well, actually, I think she adopted it from me, didn't she? Yeah. I keep thinking that, what she call herself now, G-Cat. I kept saying, it's trash in pre-market. And then she adopted it. I think it's more her saying now than it is mine.
Fantastic.
Didn't even realize it.
NQ bounced off of the 9.
Uh-oh. Oh, look at that. See, and what did I say? If it broke above that line, then I'd be interested. Mm-hmm. See?
I told y'all there has a possible chance to go on.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just
Here he
saying.
is.
Come
Here he
on.
is.
Come on.
Listen, there's
I
only
thought-
so much room for Ralph lines on our charts.
I told
Yeah.
y'all that. I told y'all that it could possibly go make it. I didn't say it would, but you know,
I only got one line dedicated to you, Ralph. I'm not giving you another one. Oh, look at that. I'm up $265 on that.
Hell
$400
yeah.
on that call out. Thanks, Amy.
Yes.
Too
You
bad it's
bet.
fake money. Too bad it's fake money.
It is a pretty little heifer. Look at her
Oh,
go.
look at that. Look at that. I'm waiting for that break and hold up here and run that right up to VWAP maybe, huh? $700. Oh, look at that. 600. So I'm taking that. $700. Let's see. Do I want to re-enter? Let's
Green
go.
is green.
Let's go. Green is green. What am I trading here? NQ. I probably should have that up so I can look at it, huh? Let's take a look at that. 19605. Ah, what happened there? I just got stopped out. It wasn't paid. When was my stop on there? And I got stopped out. Stop wasn't big enough. That's what the problem is. NQ, you need bigger stop. Back down here. There we go. I'm up 120, $200, 240, right up to VWAP. Come on, you could do it. 950.
Oh, I hit my stop.
Oh, look at
You
that.
bugger.
Yeah, I had my first one. I didn't realize it was too tight.
I look at NQ. So
There we
Look at
go.
that shit.
Texas 2
There's
for 1.
200. Oh, $30. I didn't get out of it soon enough. You know,
So like if you use a 25 on ES, you need to be using 50 on NQ.
yeah, I'm going back into this candles. What I'm doing.
No,
Right.
what I meant by that is I had I had a TP at a level that I
Oh,
had snapped,
there, we'll do that.
and it hit it before I can move it.
There. I put a TP at 49 ticks. I never use a TP. You should never limit your upside. Well, let's just say this probably could come close to VWAP and stop, right? Statistically, that's what should happen, right? Now watch it blow through, and then it'll show you why you never use TPs, right? Take profits. Never limit your
Well,
upside. Only limit
actually, it
your
retraced.
downside.
Yeah, it retraced and would have been a negative trade for me by now. So that's why I use them.
Yep.
I find key levels on my chart. That's a target. I use the confluence of the L2 and blammo.
I think TPs, I use them only for swing trades and forex. Other than that, these stocks, they can run forever. You're just gonna limit yourself.
Yep.
And it took me a long time to start using them. After like several times of me just waking up and being up, I'd be like, what the hell I'm up to? I'd be like, I'm up 18 ticks. And then I look at the chart and I'd be like, what the hell? This thing went up 92 ticks in reverse. And then it came back down. I was like, well, at least I'm still green.
Mhm.
but after so much time of holding these trades for a while, like I have to use the TP. Other than that, but if with stocks, absolutely not. The thing can keep going higher
No,
and
no,
higher
no,
and
no
higher.
way.
Yeah,
I
but you're
I
swing
only I
trading
only
also.
started
Yeah, you're swing trading.
I only started using them because of the volatility of ES and NQ at certain times of the day. If it's going to wick, I want to catch that wick.
Hold on. Look at that. Look at that. Engulfing
See?
candle. Up.
Look at that
See?
wick stop me out. Oh man, I hate this. Why am I trading this? I don't even like this one.
I don't even know why you're in it.
Well,
Man,
because
NQ
I
is the
got
bomb.
because I had one green trade.
Let
You
me
got
tell
goaded
you,
into it.
and tell Mark and tell Doug that the cool kids and the cool people on the internet, they trade NQ.
Yeah,
All
here
the
come right
popular
back.
kids trade NQ.
Well, then you're not a part of the popular kids because you don't trade it. You talk about it.
I sure don't trade
It's because he's scared.
it. I'm not scared.
Ah,
All right,
look,
it's
I'm
just
gonna
not
make
my
money.
jam.
I'm gonna make
I'm
money
trying to
on this
practice it.
bounce. Look at that, up 150 bucks. Bang,
Isn't that amazing? Oh, that's so much fun. God, I
bounce
love
right
my
off
Love
that.
this.
Bang. See if this bounce
Hey,
again.
by the way, hitting that TP got me $925. So you
Yeah.
bad talk me all you want.
I'll go up here in case that shoots up.
Hey, Doug, we're not bad talking to you. What we doing is giving you a warning. What they call that whenever you be just, sending a signal. We telling you just, don't mention those two letters around coach. We gotta
Oh, no,
ease
no.
coach. We gotta ease coach into the TP talk like we ease him into the 9. See, like it was a time whenever you couldn't even mention the number 9. You be counting, you be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. You be like, hold up, wait a minute. You be like, yeah, we
There
don't
we
mention
go.
that
Look at
number.
that. Bam, 150 bucks. Oh, I think it said 300 when I
But,
clicked it.
but nowadays he trains on it. So we gotta ease him there. We can't just drop TPs in coach lap and expect us to not,
Well, bear in mind, I was also told not to mix the EWO with scalping, and I'm scalping. So when I'm scalping, I'm going for a target, and it hit that target and wicked right to it. One tick past, actually, and caught it.
All right, well, you on your own with that TP talking around coach.
I'm not talking about it around coach.
I'm afraid
I
of
just
that.
know I just know my button clicker's not as fast as I'd like it to be.
Well, you know why we're doing it, don't you? Because he's out of town. He don't know.
That's right.
Telling you, he everywhere. He might be listening. I'm just saying.
I ain't
Coach is out,
afraid
the
of
kids
him.
will play.
I ain't
We're gonna have a
afraid.
nasty gram in the mods lounge.
Yeah, I know, right? I heard you guys.
Suckers.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is a very dangerous place to be, and it's not a place to play around. If you're going to get in, get out. Don't hang around. Things will go, especially we're now in the last few minutes of the day, right? Things can go crazy, right? Oh, I think it's the end of the day. Everybody's going to sell off. All right, I'll jump in here. I'm going to jump in. I think this thing's going to go down, right? Well, let's see. I got a feeling. Let's see how them feelings work out, right? Never form a bias.
Oh, no wonder.
What?
I didn't have one of my indicators on.
Oh, okay.
I was dumb.
Blame the indicators.
Gotta
No,
blame something.
no, it's just I'm not in a trade right now. I just kind of wondered why NQ had the indicators up and ES did not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I entered this trade. I think it's going to sell off at the end of the day, so I'll just sit here and wait and see if it does. All right. Well, that's not a way to trade. That's called gambling.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I'm up. It must work because I'm up $125 right now. Well, I'm up 250. Oh,
Clock's right twice a day too.
Oh, I'm only up 60. Oh, now I'm up 180. Now I'm up 250. Oh, I'm up 500. Oh, I'm back down to 400. Oh. See how fast just watch these numbers over here and watch how fast your profits and losses change in a matter of seconds, right? That's why I got it sitting there. You do all this gambling stuff. Now, again, could I close that trade as soon as I see that number there? Yeah, I can do that all day long, right? I can keep my finger there. Let me see. I'll see what number I want to see, and then I'll click it, right? Boom, $187.50 in my pocket. Bang. Not real,
click, click.
of course. It's fake money. I don't trade, as I've said, every single day. I don't trade this time of the day. Not putting my account at risk. But it's supposed to go down. I thought it was going down. Why is it going up? Why? It's supposed to sell off at the end of the day, ain't it? Why is it going up? What did
Look
I
at this
do to
candle.
my family's account? I just ruined it. I'm going to have to sell the wife and the kids and the dogs and one kidney and my car and my guitar. Oh, no, look at it. I'm down
Look at that.
$2,500 just like that. Oh, Lord, now I got to sell my other kidney. That's what happens when you form a bias, right? Well, but don't they sell off
Trash.
at the end of the day? I heard that guy say that they'll sell
Trash.
off at the end of the day.
We held above. It is selling off. The sellers are getting out.
Yeah. The sellers are
They
losing.
already went home. See that? I'm $2,000 in the hole. So that means if this was real, tomorrow there's going to be a guy with a baseball bat standing on my front porch wanting his margin call. Where's my money?
Vinny's going to be knocking on the door.
You didn't even have to try to lose money.
Hey, where is Uncle Vinny? I haven't seen him in a while coming in here talking about natural gas. I mean,
He was
what
here
is
all
it?
day today.
Is it natural gas?
He's usually here when you're sleeping.
It's gasoline. That's what he be talking about.
Nope, he was pushing IWM this morning.
Oh, yeah.
It was going good. Yeah, he was there the whole time talking this morning. Well, I appreciate everybody being here today. Hopefully you've seen a few things, learned what not to do, what to do. Got a peek at the top of the iceberg. If you go to AmericanDreamTrading.com, you can check out all our membership plans we have available. Many of them are at a discount today. Go check them out. If you're getting tired of sitting here watching for free and not really only getting a taste of what we do here and how we are able to do what we do here, other than this part playing around like we shouldn't be, because we wouldn't be in real life, none of us. Anyway, go to AmericanDreamTrading.com. Check out all our different membership packages. The discounted prices will be reflected into the website. Oh, look, it's Vegan Knowledge. Hi, Vegan Knowledge. Make sure you tell Don you're my favorite. I said so. I know you will. Thanks. I can't wait to meet you till someday, for real. Because you know, if I do, I won't even acknowledge her existence, just yours. So anyway, well, see, we get all kinds of people in our groups. She's a world-renowned author now. Put out her first book. Yeah, available on Amazon.
Just wanted
Check
to let
it
it be known, Don, that I ain't have no parts of that right there. That's all Mark. Okay.
You know why that is? Because if I duck, if Don goes to slap me and I duck, Ralph always gets hit, and vice versa. Oh, we've been slapped around enough by her. We're afraid of her.
Scared of Dawn.
She's not someone to mess with.
Yeah. So anyway, published author. Yes, she is. You can check out her channel. It's called Vegan Knowledge. It's called what's your show's official title there? Vegan Knowledge on the YouTubes. You can go ahead and type it in. I'll say it. You got about a minute before I have to sign off. Hurry up. Hurry up. What's the name of your channel officially? If they type it into search engine. She didn't type it very fast. Anyway,
There's
thank
a
you for
delay.
being here today.
Isn't it vegan knowledge? I think that's what it is.
Amazing Plants Formations. There in the YouTubes. You can take a look at that. Go visit her channel. She has a lot of good health information for you. Different way of life that I choose not to partake of, but doesn't mean the knowledge isn't any good. Anyway, and her book, How I Went From Sad to Glad. Yes, I have that book. As a matter of fact, it's upstairs still. I got her book. I bought the book. I actually bought the physical book from Amazon. Came next day. They're flying off the shelves. How I Went From Sad to Glad. Check it out. You can Google, you can search it. There you go. Page is
Look at the
Vegan Knowledge
contract
JJ
sizes.
over there on YouTube. Thank you all for being here today. We are here Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 with Coach live with me with the Futures Education Program from 2 to 4, and upcoming here at 5 o'clock, the Aftermarket Show with Don over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Make sure you head over there at 5 o'clock. Stop and say hi. Tell them you came from the future. She'll know what you're talking about. Just don't mention my name. It aggravates her when you say my name for some reason. I don't know why. Hey, Vegan, make sure you tell Don you're my favorite. Thank you. Anyway, thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. Make sure that you are a positive influence in somebody else's life. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.